Hey, Darren here. I just thought I'd just have a bit of a chat to you today about why agents hate selling land, basically, or why, and quite often they don't want to tell you about it, and also why it's not really their fault, I suppose. So I just thought I'd use a bit of a sample of a block of land here. I drove past. I thought I'd just pull past. An agent's just trying to sell a block of land here. You can see it's they put a sign out the front, the typical thing that agents do. Part of the reason why it's so hard to sell a block of land is what else do agents do besides put an advert on the internet and put a sign out the front? Normally you can have open inspections and hand out a few flyers and knock on the neighbours' doors and chat to people. With block of land, there's not really much else you can do really. You whack a sign up, put an advert on the internet, and then you just hope that someone comes and buys it. If they don't, then all you can really do is drop the price. And I suppose the reason I think that's a bit flawed is that what we really need to understand is people don't want to buy a block of land. What they want to do is they want to buy a house. And so it just happens they have to buy a block of land before they can build their house that they want. So I think that's some of the issues that agents have. I'm just going to show you this block of land. You'll see what some of the issues are with this block of land. Come around here. So you can see it's amazing location. Looking out here across the river. Well, it's actually the sea, but it's a little harbour. And you can see the block of land here, and then across the road here is a beach. So you just walk across that sand dune there and you're on the beach, so it looks amazing. But if you're an agent, you're trying to sell this block of land, basically you're relying on someone to try and work all this stuff out themselves. And so the problem with, if you come and have a look at the plan they've done of the house here on the sign, you can see it looks really awesome. They've got a portion of the water there, so they can put their own little jetty in there and have that little. But see, if you look at it, it's a bit triangular shape. It's like 900 square meters, which is a pretty good size. The problem with that is when you start having this triangular shape, and then people have to start worrying about, okay, how do I get my car in there, and how do I turn around, and how big can my backyard be, and how high can I go, and then they start out talking to builders, and it all just seems a bit complicated. The problem from the agent's perspective, hi Grant, thanks for joining. I just thought I'd let you know too, people, if you've got any questions or comments you want to make, feel free to put that in the comments box. I'm happy to talk you through it as we go. So yeah, so as I was saying then, you can see that trying to work out what you can fit on this block of land, even though it's an amazing location, and again, I have no idea what the price is. So what I'm probably alluding to is the fact that the price doesn't really matter for whoever's buying this. What they're trying to work out is, they just want to pay a fair price. So I find in my experience, most people aren't looking for a bargain. They're probably more looking for to build a house they really want to live in. And a house like this is not really going to be like an investment property or anything like that. It's more likely to be, hey, I thought I'd pop back here. It's more likely to be a house that someone wants to live in. And so in that sort of case they're much more focused on what can I do. And so if I'm a real estate agent, and then the first thing that's going to happen is people go, okay, what sort of house can I build on there? And if I'm just a real estate agent just trying to sell a block of land, I can't really answer those questions. So I'm really stuck, and I'm relying on people to go off and work it out themselves. And that can be a scary process for people. Most people are pretty scared of building a house, and they've had experience of people in the past. Hi Bianca, thanks for joining, and David, cool. If you've got any questions down there, thanks for Shani for the nice comment and stuff. And feel free to like me and share if you think this would be useful for somebody else that's out there looking to buy a block of land or build a house or whatever. So yeah, as I was saying, so the issue for the agents, they're pretty much stuck. They just sit on the market. This block of land's been on the market for, I don't know, I've been driving past here for, I don't know, at least 6 months or so. There's another block of land just down the road here that's been on the market for about 12 months or so. There's another block of land that was on the market for probably 2 years before that. And they're all in amazing locations. And like I said, I don't think necessarily the price is the issue. I think more the issue is people trying to work out what they can and can't do. So that's where it comes in a bit hard. I suppose probably what the agent might do to try and solve this problem, try and team up with like a builder that can try and give people a bit of an idea of what they might be able to fit on the block. Because, like I said, it doesn't really matter about the block of land. It matters about the house at the end. And once you work out what sort of house is going to be able to fit on there, then you can sort of give people an idea of what it's going to cost to build the house. They can then compare that to a built house down the road. And if it's the same price or cheaper than a built house down the road, they're probably going to buy your block of land. So you can see the issue for the agents is really they're stuck. They just have to sit there and wait for someone to come in and sort it all out themselves, which for most people, it's a bit of a process that they're not really comfortable trying to sort it out themselves, and they're a bit scared of the whole process. So yeah, so the answer for the agents is probably try and find a builder that's going to help them out with answering some of those building questions, because the difficulty though is some of the house and land packages you see around, quite a lot of the house and land package builders don't necessarily tell people the real price to build the house, and they leave out a lot of things. And unfortunately what it's created is this sort of skepticism associated with house and land packages, and people aren't really confident that's the real price, and then they talk to the builder and they find out there's extra costs and there's extra costs on top of that, and then they sign the contract and it's even more again after that. So yeah, it's this issue, I suppose, where the market sort of caused this problem where it's hard for agents to sell property. They align themselves with builders, then the builders don't necessarily tell people the real information of what it's really going to cost them, and then it creates this bit of issue. On top of that is the fact that then people are sceptical of the build, and then they don't want to buy the block of land because they're worried that the build's going to cost them more than they otherwise would expect. So hopefully you can understand a bit more why agents hate selling blocks of land, because it's just a hassle, to be honest, and quite often, and the thing you weigh up too is, if I'm selling a house, I have a couple of open inspections, and if it's a good house, I've got a good chance of selling it, and then I get paid, 2 or 3 times the amount of commission if I'd get for a block of land, and I potentially could sell it in, a few weeks to a month, whereas a block of land could sit on the market for, you saw that one down the road, sat on the market for a couple of years, and eventually they just took it off the market. So is there a solution to this? I suppose, unfortunately for most agents, it's not their fault, and they probably don't have a solution. There's probably not any way they can answer those building questions themselves. Unfortunately for me, because I've got sort of the agent experience, but also I have the understanding of the building process, so I can answer the questions, what sort of doorknobs can I have, and what sort of insulation can I have, and what's the council requirement. So I'm probably in a bit more fortunate position than your average agent, but I suppose for my average agent, I'd probably suggest just go and research as much as you can. Try and make it as easy as possible for someone to buy the block of land. Give as much information as you can. Obviously, let them understand that that may or may not be correct, but they should go and verify it themselves. But it's pretty much the only chance they got, to be honest. So yeah, good luck other agents out there, and good luck if anyone's trying to sell a block of land. If you need some advice or you're not really sure about anything, feel free to give me a call. And if you want me to talk about something else in a future episode, feel free to send your questions through my comments section, and I'm happy to chat about anything you're interested in. If you like what I'm talking about, then yeah, please give me a little like. I'd really appreciate that, or maybe even just give me a share, and maybe someone else can check it out. It might be useful for them. So cool, guys, have a good day. Thanks for your time, and talk again soon.